Every pool service owner faces the same question. Do you include chemicals in your rate or charge them separately? The answer changes your cash flow, your margins, and how customers see you, and the data behind it might surprise you. There are two ways to handle chemical pricing. Option 1, include chemicals in your monthly or per stop rate. Option 2, charge your service rate plus the actual cost of chemicals used. Each one has a completely different financial profile. Using industry pricing data across dozens of states, we can see exactly how much extra operators charge for including chemicals. In Connecticut, including chemicals in per-stop pricing adds $37 to $40 per visit. That's a 36% markup, just for bundling chemicals into the rate. Let's put that in real terms. Connecticut per stop with chemicals, $140 to $146. Without chemicals, $103 to $106. That $37 to $40 difference on a weekly account translates to an extra $148 to $160 per month, just for bundling. If your actual chemical cost is $60 to $80 a month, you're capturing a meaningful margin. Here's what surprises most people. In Florida and Arizona, the chemicals included rate is actually lower than the chemicals not included rate. Florida per stop with chemicals, $85 to $90. Without chemicals, $99 to $103. That's an inverted markup. Why? Because chemicals included pricing is the market norm in those states, so competition has compressed the bundled rate. This is the core insight. The right pricing model depends almost entirely on your regional market. In Florida and Arizona, chemicals included is standard. Charging separately looks like nickel and diming to customers who expect a flat all-in rate. In Connecticut and Indiana, bundling is a value add. Customers pay a real premium for it. Monthly rates show more modest chemical markups because costs are averaged across the year. Connecticut monthly shows the highest, $46 to $47 extra per month for including chemicals, a 49% premium. Georgia and Louisiana both show strong $37 to $47 markups. But again, California and Colorado show inverted markups, where chemicals included is actually cheaper. The case for chemicals included is strong. First, simplified customer experience. No surprise bills, no month-to-month swings, no questions about what they're being charged for. Second, you can service the pool properly. When chemicals are included, there's no pressure to minimize usage. You add what the pool needs. Third, revenue smoothing. High summer costs are offset by low winter months, creating more predictable cash flow. The biggest risk of chemicals included pricing is margin protection. Chemical prices fluctuate. When trichlor prices spiked during the supply chain crunch, operators with bundled pricing took the hit directly. They couldn't pass those costs to customers without renegotiating rates. You also lose transparency. A high-demand pool and a low-demand pool pay the same rate, even though one costs you twice as much to service. Separate chemical billing has its own strong arguments. You're protected when wholesale prices spike. Increases pass through to the customer automatically. You charge fairly across pool types. The large chlorine pool in full sun pays more than the small shaded saltwater pool. And you get per-pool data. A sudden chemical spike might reveal a leak or equipment problem that's otherwise invisible. Here's the step that most operators skip. Track your actual chemical cost per pool before making this decision. For at least 3 months, log everything you buy: chlorine, acid, balancers, specialty chemicals. Divide your total spend by the number of pools. If you spend $2,400 on chemicals for 60 pools, that's $40 per pool per month. Now compare that to what your market markup data says you can charge. Not sure how to price your chemicals? We built a free chemical margin calculator at pooldial.com that helps you set markup rates based on your actual costs and your market. Link in the description. Most operators who track their chemical costs discover this pattern. About 20% of their pools use 50% of their chemicals. These are your high chemical outliers: large pools, sun-exposed, heavy bather loads, or simply poorly balanced. If you're bundling, these pools are subsidized by your other customers. Tracking per pool lets you identify them and price them correctly. Many successful operators use a hybrid model. One common approach: include liquid chlorine, acid, and shock in your base rate, but bill tablets separately as a visible line item. Another approach: add a seasonal chemical fee from May through September, acknowledging higher summer costs while keeping most months simple. A third option is tiered pricing based on pool size and sun exposure, where pricing reflects expected chemical usage. Include chemicals if your market uses chemicals included as the norm, if your pools are relatively uniform, and if you've done the math and can price profitably. Charge separately if your market uses plus chemicals billing, if you have high variability in pool types, or if chemical prices have been volatile in your area. And always check your regional norms before deciding. Being out of sync with your market creates friction. Chemical pricing isn't just an accounting choice. It shapes your entire customer relationship. In high markup markets like Connecticut and Indiana, bundling is a real profit lever. In competitive markets like Florida and Arizona, it may not be. Calculate your true costs, check your regional norms, and make the decision that maximizes both profitability and simplicity for your operation. If this helped, subscribe for more pool business content, and check out Pool Dial for tools that help you run your service operation more profitably.